I think it's safe to say that gaming as a whole has a very distinct culture surrounding it. Not only do gamers play, well, video games, but many of us are also weebs. If you can't tell already, I'm going to be talking about anime today. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Push to Talk, the series where I, Lewis, talk about particular topics in and around the gaming sphere to help keep you guys in the loop. Now, if you can't already tell by my bright pink hair, I am indeed a weeb. I actually prefer the term otaku because 1, it just sounds cooler, and 2, weeb just doesn't justify how much I nerd out on this shit. And with the release of Oshi no Ko, I just really wanted to talk about anime and how Oshi no Ko is probably going to be, or has the potential to be, a modern classic in anime. But just before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I just need to let you guys know that next week will be the final episode of Season 2 of Push to Talk. I'm going to be going back to my hometown, which means that I just won't be able to record, but I saw this as an opportunity to take a step back and just take a look at things and see what I can do with this series, if there's ways that I can innovate it, because KKP has been kind enough to give me a platform to actually produce content, and I don't think I've been utilizing it to the best of my abilities lately. And if you guys have any cool ideas that you guys would like to see turn into a series, then do let me know down in the comment section. And with that said, I need to remind you that we at Kakuchopurei are collaborating with Supreme to bring to you gamer profile t-shirts. These t-shirts are fully customizable, as you can select 3 out of 24 different icons that best represent you as a gamer. So just head over to supreme.store/RUGame to select whichever icons you want on your shirt and show off that you are indeed a gamer. Because it's 2023 and it's cool to be a gamer now. Alright, we can finally start weebing the f*** out. Love can be expressed in many different ways, even if it means telling a few lies here and there. And when it comes to the cutthroat world of entertainment, lies can sometimes be key to survival. This is the main theme of Oshi no Ko, and honestly, it's one of the best premieres that I've ever seen. The premiere being 1 hour long felt like a full-length movie rather than just 2 episodes spliced together. The production was top-notch, from the direction to the character designs and sound. Every aspect of the show was flawless and kept me engaged from start to finish. The pacing was great too, with each character given enough time to tell their story and show their growth. Before we go any further, I do have a bit of a confession to make. The manga for Oshi no Ko is actually one of my favorites of all time. And Aka Akasaka, the mangaka for the series, is also in my top 3 favorite mangakas. If that name sounds familiar, then it might be because you're more familiar with his other works, Kaguya-sama Love is War, which is a comedy romance slice of life. So if you've been putting off Oshi no Ko because you think that it's going to be the same just with idols, then I don't blame you entirely, but you couldn't be more wrong. Don't believe me? Then let me read you the plot. By the way, spoilers for episode 1, I actually recommend you go into Oshi no Ko completely blind. So there's this gynecologist named Goro Amamiya, who is a big fan of a Japanese idol called Ai Hoshino. Turns out Ai is pregnant with twins. She's 16, by the way. So it's Goro's job to help deliver Ai's babies in secret because the public obviously can't know about it. But on the night of the delivery, he's killed by an obsessed fan of Ai's. Obviously, it doesn't end there. Goro is reincarnated as Aquamarine Hoshino, or Aqua for short, Ai's son, but for some reason he still remembers his past life. Aqua's twin sister Ruby is also a reincarnation, but she won't admit it. It's heavily implied and pretty obvious that she is also the reincarnation of one of Goro's patients in the past, Serena, who actually introduced Goro to Ai. 4 years later, Ai is killed by the same fan who killed Goro, and following this, the fan commits suicide. Aqua thinks the fan must have had an accomplice, and it was most probably his and Ruby's father. He comes to the conclusion that his father must be somebody in the entertainment industry, so Aqua decides he will become an actor to find and kill his father. Pretty dark and sinister if you ask me. I wanted the series to be perfect, so I was watching extremely closely for any missteps, but I have to say, I find it extremely hard to find anything wrong with it. The premiere was heartwarming and heartbreaking all at the same time, and it had everything I was hoping for and more. The only really nitpick that I have is that they did my boy Aqua's hair dirty. Literally looks nothing like it does in the manga. Although this is a small change, to me, it feels like it changes his vibe. When I look at anime Aqua, it doesn't feel like I'm looking at the same Aqua that I've been reading in the manga for a year, but I digress. What makes me so excited about Oshi no Ko is that it brings a fresh perspective to the idol genre. This isn't the first time someone has done this, by the way. There was a manga previously called Act Age, but if you know anything about the series and the mangaka of the series, then it's kind of infamous at this point. Akasaka added a unique twist by incorporating mystery and fantasy elements while shedding light on the industry's dark side. The show reveals how the industry is governed by money, leading to the prevalence of lying and covering up scandals. It also educates viewers on how TV shows and casting work, and how agencies push their talents to advertisers. But Oshi no Ko is not just a show about the glitz and glam of the idol industry. It also focuses on what happens behind the scenes, exposing both the glory and horror of the business. The show aims to humanize idols, showcasing their flaws and mistakes, and how these mistakes can have lasting consequences. This is why the line "idols are objects of worship, they sparkle through the magic of lies" really resonates with me, as it makes me question whether the news about celebrities going on hiatus or taking breaks is actually true or just a cover-up. Oshi no Ko challenges the common perception of the idol genre. It's not just about charming personalities singing and dancing with a little bit of drama on the side. It's far more complex and nuanced, which makes it a refreshing take on the whole genre. If you're trying to avoid spoilers for Oshi no Ko's premiere, then I suggest you stop watching now. But if you don't mind, then let's talk about episode 1. It was clear right from the beginning that death was going to be a major theme, with Goro being murdered and Serena on the brink of death. We've seen other idol shows like Idol Pride, Selection Project, and Phantom of the Idol deal with the death of their own legendary idols, but Oshi no Ko takes things to a whole new level. The show goes all out portraying Ai's death, even animating it in a horrifically beautiful way that pushes the limits of what animation can do. Although I was fully expecting Ai's death, it still hit me hard. Even if you're watching the scene on mute, the facial expressions of Ai, Aqua, and Ruby were animated with such precision that you could feel the heartbreak. The voice acting was also exceptional, with Rii Takahashi, Yumi Uchiyama, and Yuri Igomi delivering heart-wrenching performances that had me on the verge of tears. Takahashi in particular did an amazing job of portraying Ai's carefree, happy-go-lucky nature, while also showing her softer side in her final moments. Uchiyama and Igomi were also fantastic, with Igomi in particular standing out despite being a rookie voice actress. And let's not forget about Megumi Han, who had a brief but outstanding performance as Kana. Oshi no Ko is undoubtedly one of the most hyped anime of the year. In fact, it was voted as the most anticipated anime in numerous polls and snagged the top spot in its debut week. Its popularity is apparent, with it currently holding the top spot on my anime list, and its opening song's music video hitting 1 million views on YouTube in just 8 hours. Fans on Twitter also just can't stop talking about it. The premiere episode was undoubtedly amazing, but I understand if it's not exactly your cup of tea, especially if you're not into the idol and show business genre. My biggest concern is that episode 1 set the bar way too high, and that in the future, episodes might not live up to it. I've already seen episode 2, and episode 3 actually releases tonight for me, so I'm gonna watch that obviously, but episode 2 definitely maintains the top standard of production. As for the hard-hitting narrative, not so much. Episode 2, in comparison, is kind of boring, but it's necessary because it provides a lot of context for future episodes. Not including episode 3, we still have 9 more episodes to go, and if the quality starts to dwindle, then it could end up as a one-hit wonder. I really hope that's not the case, because as a fan of the manga, I know how good it gets. So obviously, I'm rooting for Oshi no Ko to continue delivering the same level of quality that we saw in the premiere, because if it does, then Oshi no Ko will be remembered as a modern classic in anime. But what did you think? Did you enjoy Oshi no Ko's premiere? How'd you like episode 2? Do you think that it deserves to be on the top of my anime list? Do let me know down in the comment section below. And again, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to like, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this, and obviously ding dong that notification bell to be notified when we upload next, because we upload videos every single week. Thank you all for watching. My name's been Lewis from Kakuchopurei, and I'll catch you guys next week for the last episode of Push to Talk. Ciao for now.